What's interesting, Mark, I thought overall, if we have one positive from this performance, is we've seen it from, right, you take it back to Gascoigne, you've got Beckham, you've obviously got Rooney, like the poster child for these England sides. A lot of pressure on them and very much commercials here. Just got Jude Bellingham everywhere. He showed no sign of any nerves or any sort of desire to hide, did he? Obviously scoring the goal. But as Craig said, trying to be that leader on the pitch.
You know what's amazing about Bellingham? He's not even 21 yet. He's 21 at the end of June, so he's still 20 years old, and he's playing like a guy in his late 20s. He's just carrying that team, and a brilliant kind of old school, midfielders goal. Arriving into the penalty area late, heading the ball into the back of the net. He has got everything that you need, and I think for me, he's the captain of that side. It's not Harry Kane, it's Jude Bellingham. He's 20 years old, and I think if he stays fit, England have got a chance. But I think he just needs a bit of more of a solid base behind him so that when they're playing against the better teams, he can do what he does best rather than being dragged back into defensive positions. But, he's a superstar, isn't he? I think, we all get a bit kind of fed up with Ballon d'Or talk, but he's a candidate for it. He's one of those players that has got everything. I think England have got a world-class player in the midfield at the moment. I think he can make England go all the way, but there's a lot of issues in that team to address before he does that.
Oh, just see it. Just going to see it. What? It was like you at Wembley in '99.
Oh my goodness!
I had to say it.
Don't even compare this.
No, but
this guy.
No.
This guy's a phenomenal.
No, I understand. I'm not comparing you.
The goal. You're comparing the goal.
I thought you were, folks. I've not been drinking before I come on here. I'm not comparing him with Jim. I'm saying Scotland, England at Wembley '99 when you scored. The way that, and it was Tony Adams, and the way the back post, Don comes in, physically outmuscles him, gets up. We talk about Jude Bellingham.
Bully did defender today, didn't he?
He saw that ball. Yeah. The Bellingham's, he's had all the plaudits this year, but that was somebody that knew, I might take a whack here.
Yeah.
But as a midfielder, you see it, and he attacked it, and it was a full-back, it was tucking round, and he just absolutely smashed him out of the way. Bang! He was the only one getting it.
He's gold dust. He absolutely is. You could write a book in the last 2 years of what he's done. Top man at Real Madrid, player of the year. £100 million player. What shirt do you want? I'll have Zidane's, please. Completely boss it. You watch him play, and he's got a strut, and he's got an arrogant strut, like in a nice way, like where he absolutely owns the pitch, and everyone feeds off him. You just watch him, you see him, and you see the way he plays, the way he's receiving the ball. As Oggy said there, and Mario said, he's bossing the teammates. He wants the ball, demands it. Craig said there, he's getting his back four up. He's a future England captain without a shadow of a doubt.
Did you mention the word nerves?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mario's back, obviously.
Yeah.
Back from his sabbatical.
Yes.
Has a couple of minutes. Has a cup of coffee.
Has
a little glass of wine. Come back, keep chatting, lads. But you mentioned nerves. Honestly, I've not seen, and he must be. There must be.
He is, Craig.
No, but again, I have not seen one iota of this guy as a 16-year-old. Now, you're a 16-year-old. You go to Germany. You're in a foreign country. You're away from your family. You're playing for a big club. He must have had the butterflies then. He must have been nervous. But since then, as his career has just blossomed, there has been no sign for me with Jude Bellingham that we could be in a World Cup final. And I think he approaches it the same way because he has supreme confidence. And not many people have that. Supreme confidence in his own ability, as Oggy said. But for it to happen, for somebody at such a young age, it is quite incredible.
And to that point, it was no surprise to see him play with that confidence today, Mario, because we've seen him do it every step of his career.
No, I think what you guys already highlighted, I think when you watch a player, and I think it's just a human thing, I think when you watch him and he's that confident, I think it's just a moment that you have to enjoy it. And I think the people that don't like the confidence of him is probably people that are shy away themselves and they don't know how it feels. But when you watch him, how comfortable he is, it's not only because he's confident because he wants to be, no, because he possesses that much of a talented player. And when you see him play, the way he picks up the ball, and if you see how the players give him the ball, that's very important there. Because sometimes when you play in a football team and you demand the ball, you don't get it all the time. But when you get it every time you ask for it, that says enough about your ability and about how the team is watching you. And that's what I saw today, like how he buzzes around. And then, Craig also tapped into Foden when he plays on that side. The only worry I have with him being so free, and if Foden would look for another freedom as well, like he is looking for it, I'm worried for the break that somebody will hit England with. If they attack and they become vulnerable when someone hits them on the break and they are not in position to stop that break. That's the only question, because if you have one free man, you play like, okay, it could be, 10 against them. But if you have 2, then you start questioning yourself and seeing if you can handle that. Against the bigger boys, there could be a question. And then even having a great Bellingham will be a big question mark for England.
I wonder at all if England at some point are going to say, do you know what? I'm not going to worry about who's going to fill in next to Declan Rice. I'm not going to worry about putting a young Kobe Mino, a young Adam Wharton, a full-back in there, a Conor Gallagher who... He's a decent... He runs about, right? I think he's a bit of a bull in a china shop, to be honest with you. I wonder if he says at some point, do you know what? I've made a statement by my squad. I bumped a lot of the more experienced players. Some of the ones I've been loyal to. Brought a lot of youngsters, a lot of talent. I'm going to sit Declan Rice and I'm going to get Bellingham and Foden. And I might bring Anthony Gordon in to run the left and Bukayo Saka to run the right, and we're going to scare people to death. And it's going to put a big task on Declan Rice. But guess what? Jude Bellingham